Every summer, the cycle repeats. You set up your outdoor space, only to find last year's patio furniture is already rusted, peeling, or completely warped. We want a classic, beautiful backyard aesthetic, but we also need materials that can survive the elements without demanding hours of our time. This chart plots the exact trade-off. The vertical axis measures maintenance hours required, while the horizontal axis measures climatic durability. Look at the top left. That bright red dot represents cheap furniture. It demands constant maintenance, yet falls apart quickly. High price tags alone don't guarantee a lasting solution. If you buy a luxury set engineered specifically to handle heavy rainfall and place it on a high-wind balcony, it will blow over and shatter. An enduring outdoor space requires matching the specific material properties of the furniture directly to the exact weather constraints of your backyard. Marketing labels like all-weather carry no weight against the chemical and structural realities of prolonged UV exposure or standing water. Buying a highly rated patio set is a waste of money if its underlying material science completely ignores your local weather reality. Let's start with the maintenance hater profile. If you dread spring upkeep, your target is the Polywood Lakeside 7-piece Farmhouse set. The structural input here is a heavy-duty Polywood lumber composite, which replaces authentic timber. This achieves a rustic farmhouse aesthetic with zero seasonal sanding, painting, or weather sealing required. You clean it with soap and water. The trade-off is texture. Faux wood composites lack the natural aging patina of real wood, and the material can feel noticeably rigid if you use it during an extreme cold snap. Sacrificing genuine wood grain is a calculated exchange for those homeowners who value their weekend time over absolute traditional authenticity. If you live in a high precipitation, rainy climate, you need the East Oak Signature 7-piece set. This setup pairs a completely rust-proof, powder-coated aluminum frame with highly porous mesh seating. Water has nowhere to hide. The rain passes right through the material to the ground below, shutting moisture instantly and preventing any internal mold growth. To get this level of moisture mitigation, you sacrifice the cozy aesthetic of plush, thick cushions for a stark, minimalist profile. Prioritizing quick-drying porous materials over thick padding is the only reliable way to ensure your outdoor patio is actually usable just hours after a heavy summer storm. Next up is the Purple Leaf 7-piece set, the explicitly engineered choice for regions with brutal, constant UV exposure. The primary structural defense relies on UV-resistant Textilene mesh and a commercial-grade anti-scratch coating applied directly to the metal frame. This actively prevents the materials from turning brittle and stops extreme color fading under intense daily sun. The trade-off is that lightweight, stackable designs require dedicated off-season storage to maintain their structural integrity. Chemical UV protection is the single most critical investment for desert or high sun climates to prevent a premium setup from turning dull and brittle in one season. If you want to host large groups but have restricted square footage, the Devoko 9-piece rattan set answers the spatial constraints profile. It solves the problem by adopting a nesting 9-piece slide-under cube design. This accommodates 8 guests on a restricted balcony, then tucks the entire setup into a perfectly compact block when the meal is over. The spatial math demands a compromise. To achieve this minimal footprint, half of your guests are relegated to backless stools rather than full armchairs. Maximizing guest capacity in a severely limited outdoor space requires a mandatory compromise on individual, long-term dining comfort for half the group. For coastal zones or severe weather regions, the SERWALL 7-piece set is the absolute standard. The build relies entirely on ultra-dense, heavyweight industrial high-density polyethylene, or HDPE. This chart shows exactly why that matters. Look at the gross weight of HDPE compared to aluminum or standard plastic. That immense mass guarantees the furniture will survive hurricane-force winds and blizzards without becoming a projectile. The downsides are the highest upfront financial cost on our list and an extreme weight that makes casually rearranging your patio layout nearly impossible. This massive industrial weight acts as a mandatory insurance policy against severe weather, trading everyday mobility for absolute lifetime permanence. The core rule of the scenario match is simple. Identify the single biggest environmental threat to your patio and buy the exact material engineered to defeat it. This decision tree maps your starting point by constraint. For tiny footprints, choose the space-saving Rattan cube. In high precipitation zones, select a porous aluminum setup. For severe weather, rely on heavy industrial composites to stay anchored. Overpaying for heavy-duty durability you don't need is just as foolish as underestimating the severity of your local weather. You can find the specific links for each climate match set in the description below. Choose the material engineered for your specific environment to ensure your backyard investment lasts. Engineering a zero-stress oasis that integrates flawlessly with its natural environment is the true hallmark of outdoor luxury.